Hello everybody and welcome to Geopolitical Trends. My name is David Oualaalou. So good to be with you as always. Well, the truth is coming out about who is the biggest loser in the Ukraine-Russia war. So you will think, as the West saying, it's Russia. It is not. The big loser is Germany. In this video, I am going to provide you insight as to why that is. But before I delve deeper into all this, first of all, I want to, as always, thank my channel supporters and subscribers. Thank you so much for your continued support. And for you, if this is your first time landing on this channel, please make sure to subscribe and hit the notification button so you will be notified every time I upload a new video. And thank you all for your support. Let's dive into this because it's a very interesting topic. The reason why Western media didn't want to pick up on it, because this was based on an internal report inside the German Chamber of Commerce, and I'm gonna detail all this for you. So here is the truth, the hard fact, and the reality. By the end of this year, 2023, basically the Ukraine-Russia conflict will cost Germany about a loss that is of 160 billion euros or 171 billion US dollars. So the German Chamber of Industry and Commerce chairman, he's the one who released the report. It wasn't the government. It was the business community that released that, estimating that the war in Ukraine will have cost the German economy, as I mentioned earlier, about 160 billion euros, or roughly 4% of gross domestic product in missed value created, which means in a lost job, in a lost productivity. That's what it means, the bottom line. So, and by the way, this Chamber of Commerce, it's known by its acronym DHIK. So DHIK. So in Germany, Chambers of Commerce and Industry is an organization for about 79 chambers, business that is, who represent companies within the German states. And it's known inside Germany as DIHK. It's known in the world some. Its chairman, his name is Peter Adrian. And he's the one who told the Rhine Post that the results of this conflict, it's going to impact the GDP of Germany per capita, because consider that Germany is the highest economy in Europe. This one now will be far less by $2,000 per person in Germany, meaning a loss. So Adrian, the CEO of the DHIK, who was, by the way, a trained banker at Deutsche Bank, and since 2017, he has been the chairman of the DHIK budget committee. And then since 2001, he became its president. So the question to you will be, I'm sure you will be asking yourself, why is this important for me to know? Well, a lot. Depending again where you're watching this from, what country you are watching this from. If your country is doing business with Germany, you're going to be impacted. It's because of the cost. So here's the thing. The truth and the hard reality is that German companies have been quite severely hit by a rise in energy prices, which, by the way, reached some sort of a record high in Europe last year. You don't hear much about this in Western media, because Western media, we all know, we don't need to beat the dead horse. Western media is in cahoot with the governments. That's why you don't hear the truth much about it. And that's what I'm hoping to provide you in these videos that I release for you here. So industry in Germany accounts for more of a critical portion of the German economy than many other countries. And the sector is often energy intensive, which means what? Means that most of the companies in Germany depends greatly on energy coming from Russia. Because they used to get it for cheap and unlimited quantities. So here's a fact for you to consider and think about. German industry will have to spend now around 40%, yeah, you heard me, 40% more for energy in 2023 than it did in 2021. So before, of course, the crisis that was created by NATO and the US. So the economic projection for German industry for 2023-2024 is likely less favorable to Germany's economy as a whole and German people than in any other country in Europe, even here in the US. So when you compare what's going on in Germany to the US, which has, because for us in the US, we have sort of natural gas reserves. In France, it has a lot of nuclear power. Germany is not. Germany relied relatively on inexpensive Russian pipeline gas for many years. Now, the energy prices is going up so high, and this is why now Germany is considering going nuclear, using nuclear power plants. This also explains why French president now is planning on going to China. Why? Because he want to cut a deal sooner than later. You can just see it's going to become, which is natural thing to do. If you are a head of a government, or president, whatever, you're going to have to think about the welfare of your country. So despite what you hear about this unity, European unity and all that, it's nonsense. I'm here to tell you it's nonsense. Now, you compare the situation to the United States. So the price of gas is about 3 or 5 times more prominent in Germany than it is in the US. And the price of power was 4 times higher in Germany than it was in France. Once again, because the United States has enough natural gas reserves and France uses nuclear power. So, and with escalating now military and civilian deaths in the ongoing conflict, which was triggered by NATO, is already and rapidly closing its gloomy sort of 1-year mark. Because, it's been almost a year now. Not almost, it was a year since the conflict started. That was initiated and triggered by NATO. Let's just call a spade a spade. Yet, and here is what's mind-boggling, guys. Instead of seeking peace negotiations, Western countries, including Germany, that's how insane, are committed to sending main battle tanks to Ukraine. How insane and incompetent those leaders are. That's just mind-boggling. I don't get it. So, and by the way, guys, if you like this video so far, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you have not done so. And thank you for your support. So get this, guys. At a recent meeting that just took place in Brussels a few days ago, EU foreign ministers, all EU foreign ministers were scheduled to debate, ways and methods by which to allow member countries, meaning European Union countries, get this, to purchase weapons for Ukraine jointly. And yet, Germany couldn't take stand and say no. That's how weak Germany is. And that's how sort of incompetent the leadership in the EU. So we have it here in the United States as well. Even during the recent Munich or München Security Summit or conference, this is once a year a meeting that takes place. The argument or the statements that came out from the meeting, it says that it is now, and I'll put the quote for you guys. It says, and I quote, "It is now the moment to accelerate up and scale up the manufacturing of standardized items that Ukraine needs severely." End of quote. Once again, how insane those European leaders are. And yet it's the citizen that is paying the price. So I mean, we have the same here in the US. You know, we're no different than them, except we're not paying some sort of the high energy prices that the Germans are paying. So here's my conclusion for you, because I would like to keep this concise and to the point. So clearly, at this moment, so large part of the German industry are extremely dependent on the Chinese market. Yes. Yeah. This is what explains now why the French President Emmanuel Macron is heading out to China. He wants to cut the deal before Germany does. And if there is a big confrontation, there is a big trouble for this part of the German society. Yeah, that's why there are German companies that they will be shutting down by the end of this year, because they can't afford those kind of prices. So the energy crisis is just the latest, yeah, in a range of threats to the German industry. So for Germany's army, sort of for exporting sort of companies, the next few years, it's gonna be very challenging. It's gonna present a unique challenge to Germany, just to prove that made in Germany still refer to products rather than crisis. But we all know, you know, it's the Germans' own making. Olaf Scholz, the chancellor, is so weak that he couldn't extend to the Americans that said, no, we are not going along with this policy because we want to ensure that our industry stay productive and stay in business. Unfortunately, he is not a qualified chancellor to lead Germany. So, or whole Europe for that matter, is doomed economically. So make sure to leave me some comments, some questions if you like it, and I'll be happy to answer because I read your comments. And as always, remember, geopolitics impact your daily life in more ways than one. Till next time, guys. Bye-bye.